everybody, I'm Chris Johnson, and this is Nate Macreno, and we're guest hosts for Power Up Gamers. Today, we'd like to introduce you to a new series called Roll With It, where we'll be discussing RPG news on things that inspire us and RPG-related products that might even include some reviews and kickstarters.
We were inspired to make videos after recently discussing with our own gaming groups. RPG question beyond the game. This is one of the questions that inspired us. What is involved in an ideal gaming session? So we thought we'd discuss it and start our first episode by revisiting that question.
Yeah, so this was part of that RPG a day. If you folks aren't familiar, this is put on Brigade, and it's a part of their lead up to the Brigade Con, which is coming up on October 29th. If you haven't checked that out, you want to do that, and we'll make sure to include the below.
Awesome.
So again, the question was, it was for day 9 of RPG a day, and it's beyond the game, what is involved in an ideal gaming session. So what were your first reactions to that, Nate?
Actually, I think I was the one who brought it up to the group, and my first reaction was to actually see how all of you guys were going to view and answer this. And I was actually going, since I'm the DM of our group, I was going to take what your guys' answers were and try to kind of help build a better storyline off of what reactions I got.
Right. And I think this is even the response I gave online when the group asked it. Was that time having their materials ready to go and their character sheet, and I think that's really, especially with like online gaming, that can be really tough. I think it's really important. And then like as we delved into it, as it started to we started to talk about it with each other, coming up with things like, the camaraderie as a team and start to gel together as a group and really start to feed off of each other within the game. For me, a big thing is just starting the session off right by kind of having everybody there and ready to go, and not having to scramble for stuff when we're ready to finally get.
Which my answer to this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my answer to this when we all started discussing, I was a little bit different. Because they brought up a lot of good points, as in, being prepared and the camaraderie between you and your players. But for me, it was actually uniqueness. And uniqueness in a game, to me, is what really makes it more memorable. I mean, obviously. But it's that remembering of something fondly that makes a lot of fun. I mean, there's times in games where you might not be having fun. And then later on, you look back at it, and you're like, that one session where I was getting my butt handed to me, but I finally pulled off that perfect roll and took down whatever creature was harming my friends and I. And so it might not seem memorable at the time, but then once you look back at it, it's those sessions that really just make it really blossom.
Right. So for you, the question led you right back to, and I think that led us all to a really great conversation about what makes a game memorable, right? Like we went from not including the game itself, gosh, yeah, but we're memorable. And we had some interesting responses, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. It actually changed it wildly after we talked about it for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it did. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, even we just went from talking about the game itself, and then people, including myself, we brought up situations where it was more or less the group that made it more memorable, just the atmosphere, being there with friends and family, which is honestly a huge part of it.
Definitely. I know for me, I think, some of my favorite gaming ones that are in the groups of people that are already friends of mine that I know, and not that I haven't had fun on those online ones, but there's just something about the way we all gel. We're friends already, so of course we think alike more, and so I think too. Yes. So you do some really unique things that I haven't experienced with another. Of course, I haven't played with a lot of GMs. Just the way you like tailor the game to what we want to makes for moments, because we create that like that my comes from together, and so then when we group, it made it really stand out. And the other thing I was thinking is that even though as a group, like we all talked about how the camaraderie and the teamwork session, it's interesting that it's memorable when they're one, and I think that has a lot to do with more to do with, for me anyway, with like how the setting is done, how the GM can tailor the quest or whatever you're doing to the character's background. I think that really makes a big difference as well.
Oh, thank you. I love the compliments. Which on the flip side, I'll talk about what our group does to make the games memorable for me, especially as a DM. And a lot of it has to do with, one, you guys all actually actively try to engage one another. One thing I've kind of noticed that's been affected a lot with video games and movies, a lot of times people just focus on one character, and then they'll be like, this is about only this person. And D&D is quite the opposite, when generally you're trying to bring a whole group together, and it's about a story for everyone. And our group, I think definitely, you included, just really try weaving a story together where people might go do something that wouldn't originally be in their character's interest, but because it has to deal with their friends, they make it important.
Right.
And I just, yeah, that's really
Which
awesome.
is very for us too, right? Like, we'd all drop anything to help each other anyway, so that totally fits.
But I mean, this is a very difficult, and there is no right answer for this question. I'm sure to a load of people, there might be entirely different answers on what truly makes a game memorable. So this is actually, we'd like to ask the crowd, what to you makes your games memorable? And please leave a comment. Let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you all have to say on it. That topic to the ground. So what are we working on right now? What are you doing? Is there anything you're reading or researching or that's inspiring you, or that you're anything new that you're working on that's RPG related?
I guess the question is, what am I not working on? Couple of college and even my work. There's times in my work where I see different characters and personalities and doctors that just, they all have such funny personalities. I even want to include some of them in my game, just taking from real world people. But soon we're about to go camping, and we're in Las Vegas, Nevada, so we don't get to see trees a lot. And we're about to go to some place called Mount Charleston that has a load of trees, and it's a big, beautiful mountain landscape. And I'm so excited for it. It will truly, I'm going to take things that I experienced there when we go camping and bring it into the game and just make it more immersive. So that's honestly what I'm, yeah. So you, Chrissy, what are you working on?
Well, I think you know, of course, our viewers don't. I've been reading Mike Fiasco and looking into those. I'm pretty much done with Microscope, and I got Jared and another gentleman the other day and kind of got a feel for it. So I'm looking forward to finding that really inspiring, and that kind of the campaign that I'm working on for our group. And then Fiasco, which is, I mean, these are both DMs, and it's like, oh, game to me. Like, you get to a bunch of people together in a room and just, they're very much the player very nostalgic. There's a lot of stuff from like the 70s and 80s in there, and it's kind of cool. So it's like gives you an opportunity to set up like a campy, and it's pretty neat. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a lot of RP for me, but I'm finding it just really excited to jump in and play that. So I've been working on that mostly. So what else do we want to share today?
Sorry, you go.
Yeah. Well, I did have a couple exciting things this week too. So I did register on, this will be, last year I registered, played in a game, and then actually cut a couple of the panels live, which was really cool. The year before, I'll a couple things during the day, and I didn't really jump in and do anything. So this will be my second year actually something. So for those who don't know, October 5th is when you can start signing up for games if you're registered. So they support a charity called Child's Play that's really cool on their site. But my shirt came, so I was really excited because I got my shirt. And the other thing is that I had taken part, backed an easy Kickstarter for these gorgeous gunmetal dice, and our internet's acting up, so I can't show you guys what they look like, but if you're on the RP one-shot group on Facebook, I did post a picture there, but they're these gorgeous gunmetal, if you wanted your numbers to be in, and I got purple, but they're really pretty, and these dice are they're just fabulous. I have a set of their, I don't know, there's just always something for me about getting dice. It always really charges me up. So
it does. I mean, I think those dice are probably going to destroy tables just because they're stainless steel. So please, if you get those dice, I definitely recommend a dice rolling box, because I made that mistake on mine.
Yeah, these definitely dice you want to felt or a lid, or you definitely don't want to roll them on your good hardwood table or anything, because which is one of the things I like about it. There's something about heavy dice that I just feel like they roll better. So we'll see. I haven't tried them out yet. I haven't even taken them really out of the box yet because I've just been so busy with it.
I'm excited to see how they roll, though. As far as things,
me too. Well, the copper ones roll great.
Well, so I have two things. One thing I'm always excited for is our next session. I don't know. I know it sounds probably really narcissistic, but I don't know. I just love our own games. But the other thing I'm actually incredibly excited for is I ordered something called Tome of Beasts, which is a new monster manual, third party though. It's by Cobalt Press, I believe. Yep. And I already used some of their free pictures they use in for a cool game I ran, a one-shot. And these guys are incredible. They create completely bizarre and out-of-this-world monsters, and just kind of gives you a new idea and new perspective on what you can do. I mean, just compared to the original Monster Manual, it's a whole different world. So once I get it, though, I'll do a review and let you guys know how it is.
That would be great. I know I've heard really good press, but I haven't checked out any of their stuff myself yet. So
I'm so excited.
That's so cool. I always love getting books. Huh?
I thought some people give them a look. I mean, come on, 400 new monsters. That's awesome.
That's a lot of monsters. That's pretty. Anything else?
No, besides that, I think I'm all kind of mentioned out. I don't want to beat the subject to death.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps up our first episode then of Roll With You. Really hope you enjoyed it. Please do remember to give us the like or comments below, and do share your thoughts if there's anything that you would like us to cover, products you want us to review, or subjects you'd like us to talk about. And of course, what inspired like we said earlier, what makes a game memorable ideal for you. So that's it for now, and until next time, as Jaron always said, hi.
And may the DM's dice roll low.